Hello everyone, this is Monsef Afker and welcome to this new call of your divine uniqueness. And I'm really happy to be back with another video. It's been a while that we didn't do any video call, and yeah, I'm really excited about that. This season, I think we'll be doing more than before with many speakers. So really happy about this very quite new experience for us on the show. And also, what is really exciting is that we are having Hope Fitzgerald with us again on the show. And I think it's been, like we said, maybe it was more than 2 years now that she was with us. It was in season 2, and how to say it? It's really, I love her energy. It's her presence it's really loving, and you feel that she cares about people she touches, and she communicates and connect with. And really, as an empath, like even if you don't like meet someone in person, like just with this connection, you really feel this energy, and you feel the love, you feel this truth and authenticity coming from others. And really, this is what we feel when we connect with Hope. And also, I love her message. It's just profound, and also her work with the infinity wave. It's really so powerful. She will be talking about that on the call, so you will understand more about it, about how it can help us in transforming and shifting what we need to shift. And also, so Hope is very intuitive. She is an intuitive dowser and healer, and so we will be taking live calls, so you can connect with her, ask your questions, and receive your her guidance about your personal questions and any question in general. So as always, so we have also this video have also the callers connected with us. So as always, you can raise your hand by pressing *2. To ask your questions, and for those of you on the webcast page, you can just type in your question there on the question box. All right, and so today we'll be talking about becoming sovereign and unshakable with the infinity wave. So how the infinity wave can really help us to reclaim our sovereignty, our mastery, and release all those fears and that's are limiting us, and also those doubts, because sometimes we are doubting if without our divinity, without our power, so we feel that's only others that we see who really can have those really wonderful gifts, but it's we are all one, and we know each one of us is unique, but we are all of us without exception have our divine gifts, and here really to serve and with a purpose. So so we'll be talking about that with Hope, and so I want to invite her now. So Hope, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today, and I'm so happy to have you back.
Oh, thank you, Monsef, and it's very nice to be back with you and your wonderful audience, and hearing your beautiful accent. I love it. And takes me far away from where I live in Massachusetts right now. I'm somewhere across the ocean, so it's nice.
Yeah. So me too. Here I'm near the. So it's just the ocean that separates us, and here we are, I think, near the ocean. And what I know is like the Atlantis. It was like somewhere between the U.S. and Morocco in the ocean. So
we'll meet somewhere there.
Yes. Yeah, wonderful. So Hope, we can, like, as I told you before, I would love if we can start maybe talking a little bit about your story, your awakening. You came to work with the infinity wave.
Sure. Well, after living a life that was very privately spiritual, my whole life, and learning how to heal, learning all kinds of things, but I kept it very quiet. Then in 2010, I had a very challenging year, And at the end of it, I realized I needed to get some healing myself. And I went away to do that. And when I came back, I was just delightfully empty. It was the most wonderful feeling of no identity, no story, no nothing. It was incredible. But that only lasted about 3 days,
Yeah.
because then, and I had already been a dowser for quite a long time up to that point, and so I had communications, with my, I didn't know what at that point, but after this 3-day period, when I came home, all of a sudden, I started to have visions, and these were a series of 3 waking visions. The first one was of a giant wall of water. Now, it didn't seem threatening, but it was, 100 feet high and beautiful and moving towards me. And there was a byline, a message that seemed to go with this image, which was that there would be a push of evolution coming.
Okay.
This wave represented this push. And if we stood stock still there, we would get knocked down by the wave. If we chose to swim with it or surf
Yes.
the wave, we would do better with this push of evolution. And that was going to be coming in all through 2011 and anchoring in at the end of the year. Okay. And then the next thing I knew, the wave turned sideways. And it was this big letter C, curling wave like
Yes.
this. And the message for that was, as the water pulls away from the shore to deepen into the seabed to create the energy of the wave. That's how it works. It goes down to create the up.
Okay.
So they're speaking directly to me, but this is for everybody. So you should leave what you know on the shore and go to the earth, the wisdom of the earth and the wisdom keepers of the earth for your knowledge. And then mix that with this other thing that's coming in. And then the water, instead of just falling back down into the ocean below, turned into this standing figure 8 made of flowing water, like this. And it hung out in front of my eyes, about a foot in front of my eyes, for a couple of days. And there was no explanation. So now I think I'm losing my marbles. And I also think I better sit down and get my dowsing rods out, because I have no idea what is happening. And they told me that this, eventually, I pieced this together, that this infinity wave infinity shape made of flowing
Yes.
water has a name, and it is the infinity wave. And that it is a 10th dimensional energetic. It's a gift from the universe to help us stay flowing in changing times, to help us stay able to swim, able to surf, able to flow with the barrage of waves that we've been receiving ever since then, increasing in size, right? And strength.
Yes.
So these waves are necessary, and they're not just happening to the planet, I believe, but to the cosmos. And there's a whole bunch we can talk about with that. But on a personal level, we find ourselves often standing straight up as the wave is coming. And so if we have a tool to remember, oh yes, we can flow with this, we can, surf this, it's going to go better, and we'll come out less bruised,
Yeah.
right? Less sand on us too. So,
Yeah.
so that's the very beginning of it at the end of 2010. And they also told me that I was to create a series of workshops in 2011, one per month. And they were a series of 3. So it would be January, February, March would be one workshop, and then etc. And I had no interest whatsoever in teaching something I didn't even know what it was. And I considered myself a student, and really I didn't want to get in the front of the room. Even though I've been a teacher, I've been a director, I've been a producer, I've been a performer, like I've been out in front a lot in my life. But when it came to spirituality, no thank you. But the thing is, when I was at that retreat getting my healing before these series of visions, I had made a pledge, quiet, silently, but I made it directly to spirit. And I was so moved by some of the revelations that I had in this retreat that on the last day, the last practice, I said, I am a willing vessel. Do with me what you will. I said that. That was my ultimate surrender. And all I can say is be careful when you say that, because your life is going to change. So that's when they reminded me that I had said that. I realized, okay, I guess I have to go forward with this, no matter how terrified I was and how reluctant I was. I apparently had asked for this experience, and I had to push myself into it. So that's how it all started. I will tell you something funny. That whole year when I was teaching and learning as I went what this infinity wave was all about, they would come in and I started channeling. I never used to channel like this. I would get big practices word by word, and then I would take them into the workshop and see if they moved people. And by, what do you know, they did. And people started to change. And this whole thing really affected people. And it lasted. It wasn't just a nice feel-good weekend. And anyway, that whole year, I looked for the infinity sign in packaging, in jewelry, because I'm figuring I can't be the only one who's getting this. But I didn't see anything all year long, no matter where I looked. But starting in January 2012, somebody handed me a cappuccino with the infinity sign in the foam. I kid you not. And from then on, it was spray painted on the sidewalks, and it started to show up. And now it's the #1 tattoo for women. It is on so many logos.
Yes.
It's everywhere. It's ubiquitous now, but it wasn't until 2012. So we got a bit of a head start with this energetic and kind of played with it for a year before it really, hit everybody in a way that they would start being attracted to it too.
Yeah, really, that's really beautiful. Really, thank you for sharing your story. I really love it, and for the part when you talked about the ultimate surrender, I think that's really powerful, because it's very related to our topics today, reclaiming our sovereignty, because it's when we surrender, it's there where our greatness show up, and it's there where spirit really help us to show who we really are. And also you said that for this little bit in the beginning, we need to keep what we already know on the shore. So it's like forgetting all the old thinking, old programming, and really it's more about a discovering who we are, discovering like a new experience, because this is something that we didn't know before. So we really need to drop this old programming and open to what's new.
Yes, Mansef, it's so true. And it's not just day-to-day thinking, things that we need to forget or not, it's even some of the spiritual teachings, and I'm not putting anything down, but when we look back over the decades and we see the things that were taught and the length of time they took, and the kinds of kind of going into the cave, you know,
Yes.
that they took. Those were all appropriate for the times we were in.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in very speedy times.
Yes.
You know, I just changed my web page, my website, and I only got it done 2 years ago. But my designer and I were kind of laughing about it the other day because it looked great 2 years ago.
Yes.
And now it's like, no, that will not do. You know, everything is changing so fast. Our perceptions, you know, our understanding of the world, everything. So we need spiritual technologies, I believe. Okay, I might be all alone in this, but I believe we need spiritual technologies that can match our speed today. The beautiful thing about the infinity wave, it's nonverbal. You know, I could teach it to a child in less than 3 minutes. It is so fast and so powerful. It shifts a person within seconds, and I've measured this with my dowsing rods. We've done this multiple times where we will have somebody in the room, and I can douse for where their energy, how far out from their body their energy comes. And then literally 30 seconds of us, couple of us standing across the room and sending a wave to that person. I douse again, and their energy field has doubled.
Beautiful.
Over and over. So it's that fast, and they feel it too. They can perceive it coming in. So this kind of thing, you know, in the fast-paced times we're in, I think we need this kind of technology. And the other thing is leaving all we know on the shore is really also speaking to that journey from the head to the heart that Buddha spoke of, that is the longest journey. We are so, and even more so today, because we're so connected and hooked into media. And I'm not saying yay or nay, good or bad about it. It's just a fact of life. And that's very cerebral. That keeps us really in our heads. So how are we going to balance that in terms of leaving all we know on the shore and going to the wisdom of the earth? Well, we're going to have to build into our daily lives a practice of disconnecting and doing something else. And the infinity wave is a beautiful connection device to the earth, to divinity, to your own guides, your own higher self, creator, whatever you call whatever it is. This is an instrument of communication.
Yeah.
So, you know, even if we take, okay, I'm unplugging from everything, and for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm going to sit, I'm going to run a wave down into the earth, crossing across me and up into the heavens. And I'm going to allow the water to run. I don't have to force anything. I don't have to try to do anything. The love and compassion in it is going to bathe me, and I will be connected above and below. And you know, you can do that a few times a day, and it's pretty nice.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes when we hear we need to have like a daily practice, maybe sometimes we are afraid of like having these commitments and keep doing it. But with the infinity wave, it's really easy to do this. And as you said, it doesn't take much time, so we can really easy commit to it, and we feel the shifts like in our energy and how we interact with others and with the world.
And you know, we can even do it with our eyes open, walking through our day. I love to do it when I'm driving.
Oh, wonderful.
I do it on myself. I do it on the drivers if they did something not very polite. And I love to do it when I'm at the grocery store and I'm waiting in line. I wave the person who's going to check out my groceries, or any number of places. And the interesting thing about it is that when you wave, when you put one end of the loop in your heart and the other end in the other person's heart, and you run the wave like this or like this, whichever way you see it, well, what's happening is you're sending out, you're just running water, but that water has love and compassion in it. Well, that water will connect into that person, and guess what? The water comes back to you.
Yes.
So you get the love and compassion. So nobody's losing here, everybody's gaining. And it's like a walking meditation. It's so pleasurable. It just keeps you in a beautiful state all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And also we can use this maybe if sometime we have this fear, or as we just talk, when we see something happening around us or in the world, it also can help us to ground and to come back to our center and, connect to our own power again.
Oh my goodness. One of the practices in the set, of the original set, one of those practices is called Power Cell. Now remember, I didn't think up these practices. They came in, and I would write, we wrote them down, and then I usually play a crystal bowl, and I in the beginning, when I didn't know them very well, I would just read the practice directly as it came in. And this one was phenomenal in that it took us into the earth a little bit, but it makes you aware of the battery that the earth is, how we can draw upon it for energy and for power and for strength. And that practice, I had a woman a couple of years ago write me. I never heard of her before or since. She just wrote me and said, "Thank you so much for the Infinity Wave Power Cell practice. It helped me stop drinking. I tried for 2 years and I was unable to stop, and the Power Cell has made it happen."
Wow.
Just beautiful. And you never know, when these things, you put these things out and you hope they help. And so it's really lovely to hear things like that. But you're right, that the energy of the earth is so, so key. And one of the things that we don't get taught often is that it's in equal parts, equally divine as to what's above and around us. We tend to think of this as being, very, very big and important, and it is, but then the earth is kind of down here. I don't know. It's really equal. So in my mind, as above, so below is up here, and the earth itself. And we're the little piece in the middle. So you can run an infinity wave like that, put the heavens here, put the earth down below, and picture yourself where it crosses.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I love this idea, and also I love the experience you just shared, because like as you said, like earlier, like now the energy is going so fast, and like we really need tools that's really like can give us results also really fast. And with her example, like after 2 years she couldn't like do that, but with the infinite wave it really helps her to do this so quickly, because in the past there were things that really took so long time to heal, but now with such tools we really can heal that and shift that in a short time.
You're so right. And you're reminding me of a video that I saw, maybe you saw it, was going around the internet a few years ago, of there was a woman having an ultrasound, and in the ultrasound window you can see that there's a tumor in her belly, and next to her bed are 3, I don't know what nationality they were, but Asian people, and they were chanting. And basically what they were saying was, we're seeing the body is perfect. We're seeing this as perfect, right? And you could watch in real time that tumor disintegrate. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and then it's gone. 3 minutes. Now that boggles the mind because we have these preset conceptions of what it means to have something like that, and we forget about the quantum world.
Yes.
And we forget that reality is not fixed. Reality is moving all the time. Everything is moving all the time. That's another reason why the infinity wave makes so much sense, because it's a moving energetic, right? So I have witnessed the infinity wave shift reality in a nanosecond. More than once. Just absolutely with witnesses. It's amazing. And I'm still learning even to this day about that, because we're so programmed. We're so, just almost browbeaten with limitations. And well, if you have this, then it's gonna cost that. Or if you have this, this is the only way out, and that just isn't true. And the other thing I want to say about the wave that I really love is that it's non-denominational, which means whatever a person believes, whatever their philosophy is, their sacred practices, any of those things, the wave can stand with it and give it extra power, extra oomph, make it flow, make it work better. It's not, nobody's suggesting you take the infinity wave and kick everything else out. But when you do invite the infinity wave in, it will improve everything else you're doing and might even teach you a few new tricks or open you to a whole new process. And that's good, because that's growth, that's evolution, and that's what we're all about here, spiritually evolving, right? So, and the other thing is the way the wave can work on a very practical level in our bodies, both physically and emotionally, is profound. Where you have pain, the wave can be any size, and that water can flow at any rate. So shrink it down, put it where you're having pain, let it run, Also, if you find yourself in a frustrated, angry, upset, fill in the blank emotion, if you have a place in your body where you usually hold that, put the wave in there and just let the water go, 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 go really fast, like a spring river. And you don't have to try hard, but it will dissipate and shift that emotion. I like to talk about this, especially for women. When men experience stress or a stressful moment or an angry moment, well, like all of us, cortisol gets released. The adrenaline's pump up, cortisol gets released. Cortisol is not good for us in general. And the thing is, with men, 10 minutes to 30 minutes later, well, that cortisol's gone. They're fine. They're having a beer with the guy they just got upset with, But women take 24 hours to metabolize that same cortisol. That's a whole day of that stressful hormone being in their bodies. And that is not acceptable. I mean, that is just not okay. Because there are many, many women around the world who have a lot going on, and it's tough. And so here was my experience with this. A couple of years ago, I was upset with one of my teenage children. And instead of really blowing my top, I went into my bedroom. But I was so mad. And I realized that my anger was right in my belly. So after a few minutes of just being so mad I couldn't see straight, it suddenly dawned on me, hey, dummy, use the wave. So I put the wave in my belly and I just let the water rush, okay? And now I didn't try to do this. It just happened. I found myself thinking about the conversation that we had just had and how maybe when I said this thing, it didn't help, you know, maybe I was culpable to the escalation of the conversation.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I noticed was I started to think about what I could say to ameliorate the problem, you know, to make my teenager feel better and to get us back on track. And then all of a sudden I started to laugh at the ridiculousness of the whole thing. Okay, now the wave is running in my belly, which was tight as a drum and is now soft and pliable. There is no stress in my body at all. I open my eyes. I'm thinking, oh, I must have been here half an hour. I opened my eyes. It was 5 minutes.
Wow.
5 minutes. I completely shifted my emotional state from rage to laughter, humor. That's what I was completely blown away. I mean, my mouth was hanging open. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh. So of course I went and I talked to my teenager and everything got ironed out. But this is a powerful thing, and I really encourage people to give it a try. You don't have to believe it. I know it seems too simple to be true, too easy to be true, but sometimes the things that are the simplest pack the biggest punch. And in this case, I think that's true.
Yes, yes, it is. And wonderful. So you made it like faster than what men can do.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, 5 minutes. Beautiful. Yeah, so maybe Hope, I would love if maybe you can maybe guide us through a short process where we can use the infinity wave.
I can. I don't have a bowl to play, but I can just do it quietly if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just have everybody close their eyes and get comfortable. And we're just going to take a deep breath. Now, I'd like you to picture that there is a tube running through your body from your crown down through your sacrum. So from your head down through your sits bones. And this tube is hollow like a straw. And imagine that we focus on the section of the tube that runs from the heart center down through the sacrum. And what's going to happen is you're going to exhale deeply downwards. And as you do, that tube is going to extend itself down through the floor, down and down into the earth, even if it's many stories down. You descend into the earth, deep exhales, and in those exhales, you release your worldly cares. And on the inhales, you bring back up into your heart whatever you imagine the earth has for you, whatever it could be, her constant love, her abundance, her benevolence, whatever you imagine that the earth holds for you, that's what you breathe up into your heart center. And we'll just do that for a few moments. Good. And now we'll focus on the section of the tube that runs from the heart center upwards. And this time we're going to exhale up, out through the crown of the head like a big fountain, expanding all directions around us, above us, and inhaling back into the heart center, all that that realm has to offer you, whatever you imagine that to be. This could be just the most beautiful divine love. It could be wisdom, clarity, whatever you imagine. Breathe that back into your heart center. And we'll do this for a few moments. All right, now what we're going to do is breathe from both directions. So inhale from above and below, and exhale from above and below. Inhale from above and below, and exhale out from your heart center to above and below. And just keep breathing like that. And as you do, you will feel your tube, what's called the pranic tube, perhaps begin to widen a little bit. And the aspects of these divine realms above and below mixing in your tube. And you can feel how you are the connection between these two equally divine realms. How you are the walking embodiment of them. In fact, this is your divine blueprint to be the one to communicate what they wish through you, so that your walk upon this planet is in all ways divine. And now, imagine that in that heart center of yours is a little figure eight made of flowing water. And just observe it sitting there in your heart center. You may notice that it has a color or that it's oriented in a particular direction. And all you want to do is observe it. And you can also notice if your heart itself is having a reaction. Sometimes people feel a little softening or a little movement or a little spark of some sort. Doesn't matter if you don't observe or feel those things. Just put this little infinity wave in your heart center and let the water flow. Now, invite the infinity wave to turn on its side so it's east and west. One loop is pointing towards one rib cage, the other is pointing towards the other rib cage. And now what will happen is, as you inhale, those loops will begin to expand and stretch. This will in effect be pulling your heart wider, okay? Now, at times, sometimes people feel a little tightness when they first do this. That's to be expected. All you have to do is make the water go faster. Just invite the water to go faster. And while we're doing this, I invite you also to remember that inherent in this watery flow is an extremely precise and clear and high vibration of love and compassion. This is love and compassion at a level that we humans do not normally experience. This love and compassion is moving through your heart center. Compassion for you, for your walk in the world, for all the things you have attempted, all the challenges, all the sorrows, the losses, and the continued attempts anyway. This compassion extends throughout your entire lifetime. That which has already happened, that which is still lying ahead. This is infinite compassion. And also, this is infinite love for you, love for your generosity and for your willingness to try, for your willingness to love in spite of some difficult circumstances, for your willingness to continue to grow and to listen and to connect with others and to share you, what is unique about you, you as a fractal of the divine. Infinite love is extended to you. As we continue to breathe, these loops continue to stretch, widening the heart, perhaps even all the way across the chest. And I invite you, no matter where you get with this, to just sit with the wonder of being this vulnerable, this open, which we don't often do. It is only because we are held in the safety of the infinity wave and we are in connection with one another right now, in love and compassion for ourselves and each other, that this vulnerability can be tolerated. And it feels so beautiful. It feels almost childlike to sit in this wonder. So you can now, if you wish, go ahead and as you breathe, allow those loops to deflate and just let them come back to a size that is appropriate for you, that feels comfortable and like you could retain this for an hour or two or a day or two. And you may choose to allow this infinity wave to remain in your heart center indefinitely. And take your time in coming back.
Oh, that was yeah, I prefer to keep that energy for today.
Good. Good choice.
Yeah, it's I love it. It's you feel this love with and connection with the earth and heaven and being this point of connection between both of them. I don't know. I really love it. It's I don't know how to describe it, but I love it. It's very grounding, very peaceful, and very loving.
You know, it's funny because usually I do the practice at the end of the program because people have a hard time speaking afterwards. And kind of, people gotta, okay, I'm not all here in my brain right now. I understand that.
Yeah, wonderful. So yeah, so can we maybe take some questions from the audience?
Sure, I'd love that.
Wonderful. All right. Yeah, so a reminder for all of you on the phone or the web call, you can raise your hand by pressing *2. And for those of you on the webcast page, you can type in your question there on the question box. All right. We have a caller from Tapiola, phone number ending with 2411. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Yeah.
Hello. Thank you so much for taking my call. My name is Lynn.
Welcome,
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, how are you? You know, Hope, I was introduced to the Infinity Wave when I purchased a structured water device, and your Infinity Wave 10 lessons were part of that. And so I've been using the Infinity Wave, but I'm so thankful that you went through a process because it really makes a lot more sense to me now.
Good. I'm very glad to hear that.
Yeah, no, it makes so much more sense to go through the process with you really live. So that was wonderful than just trying to read it and then do it. So my question actually is, what's the best way that I can use and work with the Infinity Wave for working with forgiveness?
Oh boy. Well, that is a very big, good question. Lynn, I have a series of practices as we've been talking about. The very last one on the second CD or MP3 series is the forgiveness practice. And there's a reason it's the last one. Let me start over. Forgiveness as we know it generically is really only one layer of a multi-layer cake. And which is why a lot of times we struggle with it. We think we've forgiven, but then it turns out we haven't. That's because there's a process that's actually one of the most spiritually advanced practices there are. And this came to me in a very dramatic moment in 2012. It was given to me by a council of very powerful feminine deities. At that time, I didn't always know who was talking to me, but in this time, they actually wanted themselves to be known. And so this practice came in. It's kind of hard to talk you through the whole thing here, except to say that I can't talk you through it. It's a little involved, but it is on the recording. So if that's of any help to you, I suggest that you get that second set of MP3s.
Okay, your Pack B.
Yes.
That you're offering today, right?
Yes. But honestly, I don't normally recommend getting the second set before you've heard the first set, because when I look back, the way that all the practices came in, there was a rhyme and a reason to them. It was a stepping stone situation that I never could have figured out ahead of time. So those first 9 practices are the building blocks of what you need in order to do the second set. So I don't want to push you into buying more than you want. I'm just laying that out for you. but the forgiveness practice itself is the very last one because of all the building blocks that really need to happen beforehand. So
Okay, well, that makes sense.
okay, I wish I could isolate it out for you, but that's not my understanding of how it works. But I will tell you this. I will tell you this. I have had people come out of that forgiveness practice having forgiven years of sexual abuse, years of parental abuse, different people, and like it's done, it's gone, it's over, and in the most beautiful way possible. So I trust this practice with all my heart and soul, and I use it myself.
Well, that's really good to know, so thank you.
You're very welcome, and I'm glad you're a structured water girl.
I am.
Yay.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lynn. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you so much for taking my call.
Thanks, Lynn.
Yeah. Yeah, that was beautiful. And yeah, as you said, sometimes we need like to how to say, to have these building blocks to prepare ourselves so we can really have this great shift happening.
Yes, I've learned so much, in the last 7 years since the Infinity Wave showed up. I've learned so much about a depthful living, a depthful spirituality. And when the forgiveness practice, I was brought through the forgiveness practice by these incredible beings in order to do a practice for the planet. I didn't know, I knew ahead of time that I was supposed to do something at a particular time in a particular place.
Yes.
And I had to travel overseas to do it. So I was really following guidance. So I had to, go across and show up at the appointed hour. And I still didn't know what I was going to do until 2 hours beforehand when this practice came in. And it was a shock when it did because of what I was being asked to do. But it was profound. It changed me fundamentally. And I think when we do forgiveness in this way, it fundamentally shifts our consciousness and our evolution. I think we really take several steps ahead on the game board, because of what's required.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Hope, and also thank you, Lynn, for calling in. Yeah, so let's invite another caller. We have a caller from Hampton, phone number ending with 6077. Hello? Are you with us?
Hello?
Hello. What is your name?
Hi, this is Candy in New Hampshire.
Welcome, Candy.
Hello, Candy.
Hi. I had a loud ringing in my ear for the past 5 days. Will the Infinity Wave help with that?
Let me ask. Are you on the video or are you just on the audio, Candy?
She's on the phone.
Okay.
I was listening to the webcast and I just called in like 5 minutes ago.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is I'm using my dowsing rods now. That's how I'm going to answer your question. Can I, may I, should I? Okay. Will the Infinity Wave be useful for the ringing in Candy's ear? They're saying no. On the other hand, I feel like it wouldn't hurt to try. So if you just imagine probably a wave about 3 inches high. Actually, you might want multiples, sort of in like a cuff around your ear, and just let them run. That could bring you some relief. But what can help you is if you run the wave from the crown of your head around the soles of your feet and crossing in your midline. At least what that can do is help your stress levels about it. If you're having stress about it, it'll calm your whole system down, and that will help.
Okay, does it say what it's caused from?
I don't know. That's sort of more of a medical thing. Well, let me ask this. I can ask this. Is Candy's ringing in her ear happening on a purely physical level? I'm just going to check. Is it happening on an emotional level, mental level? No, it's a physical issue. So I tend not to get too much into diagnosing physical stuff. But sometimes I know what can happen is there can be a little crystal that gets dislodged inside the ear. And if you go online, there are various things. If you look up tinnitus, there are various things you can sort of do at home to try to fix it. First, try that first, and then you can see. The other thing is that I do neurofeedback, and I believe there are neurofeedback practitioners in New Hampshire as well, and they can sometimes help with ringing in the ear.
Neurofeedback, okay.
Neuro feedback, neurofeedback, yeah.
Okay. Now that doesn't have anything to do with fake doctors, right? Because I'm sorry, I don't go to doctors. I want to know the real issue.
No, a neurofeedback practitioner is usually, well, it could be a nurse, but usually they're regular people who are into alternative things.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, and good luck with that. I know that's a very annoying thing.
Oh, I get wicked anxiety when it gets really loud because I don't know what to do.
Are you meditating regularly?
No, I know I should be, but I'm not.
That's okay. I was just curious. Well, use the wave to calm yourself down, okay? And I don't know, you might want to go and have it looked at, even though you're not. I'm going to ask this. Is it in Candy's highest physical, mental, emotional, spiritual good to go to the doctor about the ringing in her ear? Yes. Will the ringing in her ear go away by itself? Okay. How long will the ringing in her ear take to go away? More than a week? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? 5 weeks? Okay. So, yeah. So you might want to go, look, they might have some drops. They might have something that will help you right away. So I would go.
Did it say it would go away?
It will. They're saying it'll eventually go away. 5 to 6 weeks. But they are also recommending that you go to the doctor.
No, I can't do that.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll.
Thank you. Thank you for the information.
Sorry, I couldn't tell you something better.
Thank you.
Thank you for the information, though. It does help.
Okay. Well, I'll put you in my prayers, Candy.
Thank you very much.
Candy. Thank you. Many blessings to you. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, so can we take maybe one more question from the webcast?
Sure.
Okay. We have Yvonne from Osoyoos, Canada. So she wants to ensure financial security, but also work somewhere that I would love. How do I find that and get that?
Can you read it again, please?
Like, so, how to ensure financial security and also work somewhere that I would love.
Mm.
So how to
Okay. Well, you know, this is a very common question. And all I can say is that the infinity wave, if you invite it into your field, if you invite it in to play with you, to work with you, lots of things will start to change. Evolution means change. It's mandatory. And we can't necessarily pick and choose which things we want to stay the same and which things we want to change. When we invite change, we need to swim with it. We need to surf with it. So when you start using the infinity wave, your whole system becomes more fluid. Resistances will start to melt away. And you may find some surprising things pop up. It could be that certain people exit your life. It may be that you feel inclined to move. It may be that you have a change of idea about what you want to do. It may be that you eat differently, that you have new interests. It can run the gamut. And that includes work. So I've had people do the wave, and they were concentrating on their spiritual evolution with it. But what ended up happening was they started to get more jobs. And money started to come in through that work. Now, you could say perhaps that wasn't a direct, that's not what they went in there for. They didn't start using the wave just to create more abundance. It was a byproduct of their whole system having a spiritual upgrade, moving along their spiritual evolutionary path. So I tend to look at things holistically and say, if something isn't working in one corner of your life, it's probably because there's some kind of block or some kind of imbalance in your life as a whole. If you want to be your best self on the planet in all ways, then you want to evolve and you want to keep growing. So this wave will help you do that. A byproduct of that is that well, I will say this, a lot of synchronistic events start to happen when you do the wave. You bump into a person, you meet a person, somebody introduces you, you're in the right place at the right time, and all of a sudden, things start to flow, things drop in. It's easy, it's not hard and beating your head against the wall. But this is because you have fundamentally changed to be in flow and be in this loving energy of love and compassion all the time. That attracts certain things to it. You see? So I tend to see this just holistically, and I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really wonderful. I love your answer, because really when we are in that state of flow, as you said, we really attract like so many opportunities, and we get more clarity about what we need to do, the path that we need to follow, and we feel like within our hearts like the right decision that we need to take in each moment. So yeah, and with the infinity wave, it really can help us to come to this center and peaceful state. And
so Monsef, I want to just follow up with what you said, because you know, we talked about leaving everything you know on the shore. When we have what we perceive as a problem, oh, my problem is I don't have enough money, I don't have a good job, that's my problem. Now I'm going to take my mind and I'm going to apply it to my problem. And it ends up being a very narrow chamber. And it ends up being based on only what we know. Now, what happens when we go into the I don't know state of flow? Because I don't know what's coming from one day to the next. I am open and available. And so things come in, people come in, opportunities come in. And I don't have to know about it. I don't have to get all zeroed in and narrow-minded, because then I don't leave the room for the unexpected, right? It's a real change from this to this, from narrow to wide.
Yeah.
I encourage people to be in don't know mind. Don't know. Don't know. Knowing when you know something, you've got walls, right?
Yeah.
I know this, and it's in a box, and I can define it, and I can label it, and I know all the ingredients. That's great, and it's only a story about a box. Really, we don't know hardly anything. And so the more we can entice our brains to release its tentacles on the knowing of the details and the story, and be willing to have those tentacles sort of fly up over our heads and around us and available to bring in new information, then that's where the fun is. That's where the magic is. Really.
Yeah, it will be more like living life as like experiencing surprise after surprise. It's like having, you know, more discoveries. It's not like prearranging everything like in advance and knowing everything in advance. It's living moment by moment and experiencing life as it comes. And as you said, like this is what's bring fun to our experience here in life. Sometimes maybe it can be maybe a little bit challenging to have this ultimate surrender, as you said in the beginning. But
You
once
know,
we can
that's
do
it.
this, like
Yeah,
it
that's
becomes just
it.
flowing.
And don't listen, I'm not saying this from a place of inexperience. I've had so many scary thresholds that I've had to walk over, cross. Each time not knowing what was going to happen, each time risking a lot, and it's being willing to be that there's a surrender, and also understanding, okay, I've got some fear about this, and I'm going to do it anyway, because the fear is just the fear. It doesn't have to be the box I'm sitting in. It doesn't have to define me. It's allowed to be present, and I'm doing this anyway, and so, and then as soon as we get in and across that threshold, the fear really melts away. And so the fear piece is the limiting piece. We've heard this from every spiritual teacher since day one, right? For good reason. And sometimes the same fears crop up again, the same ones. But the good thing is, every time we've crossed a threshold with fear there, and we did it anyway, the next time we do it, we can look back and say, yeah, but I did it that time and it worked out okay. So now I have reliable experience to help push me over the threshold, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, as you said, like, yeah, go ahead.
No, that's okay.
So it's more about, I don't know, having more experiences and like maybe taking more risks, and after sometimes with those experiences, like how to say, our inner knowing like gets stronger, and like in each moment, like it's not we know in advance, but in each moment we can feel or sense or know what we can do at that moment.
That's it.
So it's like a process.
Well, it is a process of building trust and faith. And you don't get to have those things without the process.
Mm-hmm.
Your trust and faith is paper thin until you push the envelope.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
it's got to be tried and tested. That's when the wonder happens, when you go, oh my gosh, I'm really not alone. I am so aided and assisted in everything I do by my guide team, by my higher self, my higher self is betting on me to do this,
Yeah.
to climb over that big hurdle, or to sail over the big hurdle. That's what my highest self is rooting for me to do. And so that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, maybe in the beginning we have this fear, but once we take the risk and follow our guidance, like when after that it physically happens. I don't know, it's really fun. Sometimes I just start laughing because I love the experience. It's wonderful. Like
there's nothing better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know, I love it. All right, so yeah, so Hope, I would love now if we can maybe talk about the packages you are offering. So there are 4 packages, and yeah, just I want first to guide our audience to the link is yourdivineuniqueness.com/hope and number 9, yourdivineuniqueness.com/hope9, HOPE and number 9. Or you can simply click on the special offer button on the webcast or the replay page. Yeah, so I love this special offer you are offering us, Hope. Like it has 4 packages. So the 2 first is the original practices, and then the second level, and after that we have the Infinity Water Battle and also 1 month coaching. So maybe if we can start with the first one, if maybe you can share with us how this can help our audience, what they will experience through those practices.
Well, the original practices, as I said, are the ones that came in 2011, 3 at a time, 1 per week, and then I would have my workshop, and then that would repeat. So there are 9, and they were profound then, and they're profound now, and the order of them is important. And I always tell people to not rush through, because you may find one that you really love and you just want to listen to that a few times and fully integrate it. When you have a workshop that lasts 3 months, there was time in between to integrate what had been learned with each day.
Yes.
So don't rush, and don't jump around. That's what I would say about that. But they're laid out pretty well on your page there. Did you want me to go one by one, or?
I think, yeah, they have like the description of each one of it. So maybe like if you can maybe tell us how they can use those. So you said like they can maybe once a week, or it depends on their they can follow their own pace. But how they just listen to them, or?
Yes, I would listen at their own pace. I just I'm always trying to help people to trust their inner understanding, that their intuition. So what I will also say is, this is the closest thing I could come to running workshops for the world. I mean, I'm only one person, and I can't give enough workshops, to reach everybody. So I like to think of these practices as my workshop in a box. Or, if you imagine it in a box, it's a way to go through that experience. And it is designed for people who want to go deeper into their spiritual evolution. I've taught everybody today, what I call the daily wave. Now you
Yes.
know how to put it in your heart. You know you can run it in your whole body or in your belly or whatever. You know you can use it as a communication device between people. The practices are for those who really want to take a deep dive and want to change their lives fundamentally. That's what this will do. You won't come out the same at the end as you went in. I haven't met anybody who has, so.
Yeah.
So take it at your own pace and take it seriously but lightly.
Yeah.
You know, it's sacred, it's precious, and don't get too in your head about it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful. And also, like, I love. Maybe I don't know. I'd like to share just the names of the practices. We have the infinity cradle, the body appreciation, swim with the earth, time travel, and like I feel it touches so many things, like releasing our resistance and having this appreciation to our body, and also connection to the spiritual realm of the earth, of our beloved Gaia. So it's this will like take us through a different I don't know, it's like steps and connection in at a different levels, and going deeper and in each of those levels. So it's like, I don't know how, it's maybe holistic, that will the shift will happen like in a holistic way in so many levels. It's not just on one.
Yeah, it's a beautifully designed program, and I'm just very grateful that it was given to me to share with everybody else. You know, I couldn't have done it better myself. I couldn't even have tried to do it. It's way beyond me.
Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, and also there is the second wave, the second level of practices.
Yes.
And these are 10 practices.
Those are the ones that came after that first year, because I didn't stop channeling and I didn't stop, you know, whatever. But and so those, I would say, are beautiful add-ons to the first set. They enhance. Some of them are very powerful and intense.
Yes.
And then, of course, the forgiveness practice at the end. And the beautiful thing about the forgiveness practice at the end is it's actually part of a sung practice called Lullaby of Isis that comes right before. And what I like to tell people to do is to use Lullaby of Isis kind of like a sandwich with the forgiveness practice in the middle. And I was completely surprised when the Isis practice came through me. I was not expecting to sing at all. And this just came right in, so I did it. But it helps to prime a person for the forgiveness practice, and it helps to heal the person afterwards.
Yeah. Beautiful. And yeah, we are so grateful that you could channel those really powerful practices. And you know, as you said in the beginning, it's the infinite wave. The practice is something easy that we can do, and commit to it, and also the shift that will happen is really great. As you said earlier, you shared many examples, and I don't know, it was just amazing to hear how people really can bring so deep like a transformation into their life. And yeah, so I'm so grateful that you are offering those to so many people.
My pleasure.
And yeah, so we have those two first packages, so you can get the first one and also the second level. And we have the third one is so it was either package A or B plus the Infinity Wave battle. So yeah, I also love this one. So can you maybe talk more about that?
Oh, yes, I'm very happy to. This is very exciting because this is the first time I've ever offered this. It is, well, the bottle is made by a company called Vita Jewel, And they make these bottles with gem pods that screw into the bottom of the bottle. Without going too much into the technology of it, you can look it up. It's Vita, Juwel. There is I'm a structured water person, as Lynn talked about. I've been doing that for a number of years. And this is the next iteration. This is the next version of fabulous structured water. When you put gemstones and semi-precious stones and crystals in close proximity to water, the water gets charged up at even more than structured water. So what I do is I put my structured water in my Vita Jewel bottle, and it is super duper charged and wonderful. I absolutely love it. So what I did for years, I have wanted to come up with an infinity water bottle. It was just a no-brainer that I should have this, and it just wasn't the top of the list. But when I was introduced to this bottle through my friend Patrick, I realized maybe now I can figure out a blend of gemstones that would perfectly reflect the infinity wave. So I dowsed for which stones should be in and what percentage. And that blend is what we are selling here. No one else has this yet. So this is pretty cool. You can't get it on Amazon. You can't get it anywhere except right here, right now. And not only are the bottles beautiful, but the water is incredible. So I am very excited to be launching this with you, Montse.
Yeah, very excited too.
Very exciting.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for opening it to our audience. And I don't know, I really love it, like the bottle and also like the effects it can have. So like normally how maybe when we add the water, like is it like the structuring, does it happen instantly or maybe it takes some time? So how does it work?
That's a good question. I'm not exactly sure how long it takes, but I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't very long. And that's the beauty of putting structured water in it, because you're already having good water. And then when it comes in contact with the gems. But I drink it all day long, and I think it's enhancing my water from the minute I take my first sip.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that we can take it everywhere. So it's, I don't know, and also like water is really something vital that's we really drink a lot. And also when we release so many dense energies, and we need to drink a lot of water to process it. And also with this, it's, I don't know, it can help more because it's really like more pure, more structured water. It's not like the normal one that we have.
Right. And it's good to be hydrated if you're going to be using dowsing rods and any kind of spiritual work. It improves our ability to hear and communicate. It's and on so many levels, it's important to stay hydrated.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. So yeah, I really hope. Thank you so much for offering this for the first time in our show for our beautiful audience. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. So really thank you, and I really encourage our audience to get that one and really use it in your daily life. So it's, as you said, like being hydrated, it's something very important for us, and using like really high quality water, it's something that is really important. So thank you so much. And yeah, so for this third package, because we are offering the 2 levels, so there are people who already have the first one. So everyone, you will have a choice. So to either choose the infinity wave practices, the first level, plus the bottle, the infinity water bottle, or the level 2 plus the infinity wave bottle. All right, and we have the fourth package. It's the 1 month coaching. So it's 3 sessions with you. And so yeah, I would love if you can maybe share what will be the experience with your sessions, and what type of topics you can discuss in these sessions.
Sure. Well, I really like to help people who are at a crossroads in their lives. And the dowsing rods are just wonderful because they're very accurate. People come in with all kinds of questions. Should I move? Should I marry this person? All kinds of things. And with the dowsing rods, we can ask on multiple levels. So we ask physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And we can break that down and then follow a line of inquiry that is far beyond yes and no. And that's what's important. Also, when I douse, I start to have words and sentences and pictures and things drop into my head, which I express, and then the rods will confirm, if this is accurate, and the person will usually say, "Oh, I never thought of it that way." What I really like is that I go into a dowsing session and don't know mind, and also not attached to any outcome.
Yeah.
So I try to be as blank a slate as possible. And we go in through the door of the first question, and then it just opens up. It's like a pop-up book. All the possibilities of how to look at this and how to solve a situation. Things that normal thinking is sort of on one level, but the dowsing takes us into many more possibilities, which I really love. I really love. So people usually feel like they learn a lot about themselves, and they feel that they've been given a direction. Now, whether they choose to take that or not is up to them. But
Yes.
this is the information coming through for them. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you separate them into 3 sessions, because I think it's more helping when we have this support. It's continuous. So after the first session, like there is some times that when maybe we reflect on what we need to do and what we need to process and change. And after that, we have this guidance on it supports in this. It's like a journey and a confirmation from you.
Yeah. Yes, it is very much a journey. And what will happen is in the first session, and I get a lot done in half an hour. I mean, really a lot done. What will happen often after that first half hour is the person will go away, and then things will start to shift and change, and they'll start to have different questions. And so that's why I like to have it as a 3-part or 6-part series, because as the person is shifting and changing, as you say, you want to be able to support them in that, and then kind of they're going off and on a new path. And that's all very disconcerting for some people. It's like, whoa, I never thought I'd be doing this. And even if it's just behaviors, like some people have addictions and they want help getting out of it. Some people have childhood trauma that's still causing a problem. And we can undo that, because I don't just douse, I also do healings.
Yes.
And I can do them long distance.
Yeah.
So there, I've got a pretty big bag of tricks, and I pull out what I can, and I just really love to help people through what I call a peduncle, the crosshairs, the part of the infinity that's in here.
Yeah.
The birthing chamber.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's and also it's really wonderful to have this opportunity to be guided and supported by really by yourself, because really I love your energy. You are so caring about others and you love helping others, and with what you are able to do, like helping others, like really they can experience a great shift with the infinity wave and intuitive dowsing. It's, I don't know, it's they will receive the really the great support from you, and I'm so honored to be able, like, to connect our audience with you and to be able to offer that to them. So thank you.
It's my great pleasure. It's my honor, honestly.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Hope. Really thank you for all those packages. It's yeah, you are so generous to offer them to us, and also to offer the Infinity Wave vessel for the first time here on the show. So really, thank you so much. And,
yes, it's my pleasure. I'm so excited to have it be its birthday.
yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. So so everyone, really, I encourage you to take advantage of this really beautiful packages. Take your vessel, and also if you want more guidance and go deeper with Hope, so you can also get the coaching month along with the Infinity Wave practices. So again, you can get those on the page yourdivineuniqueness.com/hope and number 9, yourdivineuniqueness.com/hope 9, HOPE and number 9. Or you can simply click on the special offer button on the webcast or the replay page. And yeah, so Hope, really thank you for those packages, for the time you spent with us today. I really love the interaction with you, the information you gave us about the Infinity Wave. Yeah, for me, it's really eye-opening to know about this tool. It's really powerful, and the result that we can get by using it in our life. So yeah, so really thank you so much for everything you shared with us today.
It's such a pleasure to be with you and your beautiful audience. It really is. So thank you so much for having me back.
Thank you so much, Hope. And yeah, again, everyone, you can get to the special offer page by clicking on the special offer button on the webcast or the replay page. And thank you for your presence. Thank you for sharing with us your energy, sharing with us this space and your time. Thank you for your wonderful questions, and I'm sending you so much love, and see you on the next call. Bye-bye, everyone.